Welcome to the MaxBet Podcast, a podcast dedicated to everything gaming. I'm Landon Jones, here with Mike McKiskey. Let's get started. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Just waiting for you to show up.
Just texting and doing my own thing.
We're live, and you're over here just solving world problems.
I'm just trying to figure out if any of these pictures I take are worth Instagram or not.
Probably not.
Never are they, yeah.
Does anyone even care? Like, when you look
About my page, certainly not.
I don't even think real pictures. They're just like, if they like you, they like it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just that's my guy or my girl. So I put the old heart on there. What's going on, man?
I mean, I don't know. This is an interesting intro.
That's how we do it. We're interesting guys.
Anytime I hear you on social media, that's interesting in itself.
Outside of LinkedIn, definitely not my biggest sandbox, but getting better at it. I like to. So I saw somebody post the other day, like, you ever have that friend on the group chat that never says anything, but he's got, like, he sees all, and I'm like, that's me on social media. I don't normally post a lot.
That's usually me on the group chat.
I watch everything. I'm the watcher, right? So, no, it's fun, man. It's but yeah. So anyway, so I know, like, as we go, and the next chapter here is more about, like, we got to post a little more and do a little better.
And what is that next chapter there, big guy?
We're free, man. We are independent agents now.
Hold on. We need a fucking better intro than that on what's happening. This is big news.
Okay. Why don't you tell a story there, Captain Energy?
Hi, I'm Captain Energy, here with a news announcement for you, the people. Mike and I have just left our current positions at AGS.
Yeah.
And why have we left our current positions?
Because we're doing MaxBet full-time, baby.
We are going full-time, but it's not just the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We have so much action coming to you, the fan.
Me, and you.
And me.
And all of us.
I feel like that was a little more better.
Yeah, that was Mo better. Mo better for sure. That was it. No, it's good, man. So we've been working on some cool tech. Behind the background, or behind the scenes, which we hopefully unveil to the world here in another couple months. But
not hopefully.
We will be unveiling to the world. Sorry, we'll do that. And so it just was time. It was time to just go full time, right? And it's like one of those where you start your own business, and a lot of people want to half-ass and go, side project, which could work for some things, but this is the kind of thing we have to go all in. And if we're going to win or lose, we're going to win or lose full speed.
And for those of you listening, because I thought the same thing, you're like, you left a really good job to go podcast. The answer is yes, but not really.
Halftime, yeah.
So the podcast is not why we're leaving our current positions. The podcast has been great. AGS supported us, and thank you guys for always supporting us and letting us chase kind of this passion project, which was the MaxBet Podcast. But through interviewing 50, 60 people, we found kind of a gap in our industry, right? Yeah. And we've taken what we've learned a lot through the podcast, and now we're pushing it over into the tech space.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a teaser.
An appetizer
of what we've been working on. One, I can tell you, you're getting ready to see MaxBet Television, MaxBet TV.
Yep.
And we're working with a bunch of influencers and brick and mortar properties and vendors alike.
Just different content creators.
Content creators and businesses. And we're going to be hosting multiple shows. And we have our own specific gaming network, MaxBet TV.
There you go. Previewed. So if anyone can figure that one out, good luck. Yeah. And if not, text us and we'll walk you through it. But yeah, no, it's fun, man. It's interesting, but yeah, it's exactly like the kind of thing you go, I just want to be trying to do that.
And if that's not enough, that's a small, even just that is small portion of what we're about to do, because we're going to be hosting another portion of that to support the TV. And I'm going to leave that kind of as a teaser.
Yeah.
So podcast goes to TV, goes to an even bigger platform.
Yeah.
And we've been building it for almost over a year now.
Yeah, close to
the tech.
Yeah, the tech
side. The podcast has been a couple years. But we're really excited, and we hope it helps everyone. We hope it helps the gaming business.
Yeah, or at least they like it. And
it's entertaining.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's an entertainment play, and so I think that'll be fun. And yeah, it's just a good time, right? And I think, but it's funny because I think people ask, like you said earlier, like we left good jobs, and I get that question: are you nuts? Like I think people go, well, we tend to trust your judgment, so you must know something we don't know. That's like what I'm getting. But I think in the back of their mind, they go, this guy's fucking crazy because he's leaving the job that, like, I feel a little crazy sometimes too, right? Like we have the jobs that a lot of people want. We have to go sell. We work for a company that's great. Well, historically, we worked for a company that great culture, good people. Right. So you don't have a lot of the internal BS that you deal with sometimes. Yep. And then we get to go run. I mean, you're in SoCal, which is one of the best gaming markets, best weather markets, best just places to be in the earth, right? So you're going to
play golf for a living.
Play golf for, part-time living. And like you go, are we nuts to just light that on fire and do the next thing? And it's like, maybe. But I feel like for me, it was, we were joking because we were talking about IG photos. And so I took the picture with like Atlas Shrugged, mostly for our boy Burke, who's a big fan of Ayn Rand. But like, it was like, that's the journey, man. Like if you don't cut the cord and just go figure it out, like maybe you smash into the ground, but at least you go, well, at least I know now. At least I know if I could fly, so.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're doing it.
The bigger you are, the bigger you fall. So your shit's going to hurt more than mine.
Yeah,
dog.
That's going to be a big puddle if it don't work.
How was that as like a little teaser, guys? I know you're listening. I thought it would. I'm kind of nervous telling you. So Mike and I are full-time max vet now, and we wouldn't be here without y'all listening.
Yeah, for sure. That was big step number one. And we ain't stopping the podcast. So the good news is we'll probably even push out more content now because we'll have less, obligations in some of the other regards. And now we'll be able to push out more here.
And I might add, we don't have to be as political now. So we might open up. It might be a little more saucy.
You're going to hit them with the sauce, are you? Okay, interesting.
I mean.
Interesting. I can't wait to see what you bring sauce-wise to the future episodes.
I'm not great at this podcasting thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. But like,
I'm gonna get saucy.
If I was gonna do an intro, this is how I would have done it, and it probably sucks. But you know what? Here we are. What else is happening? I want to talk about our sponsors.
I love our sponsors, and honestly, more important now than ever that we have sponsors, right? So it's like as it is, it's like we're incredibly grateful. So the two that are still with us. So you have. Eilers and Crate Check Gaming, so the boys over at EKG.
Yeah.
OGs, day one for the most part for the pod, and they're not stopping doing their big stuff. I mean, I almost get too many emails, but it's like, you get all the sports reporting and all the online gaming trackers, and I mean, they're just continuing to add. We had dinner with them not long ago, and they're basically saying, look, we're not sleeping on this. Like, if you want to know about it, we're putting in databases, we're pulling reports. I mean, it feels like they're hiring a ton of people, but a lot of people now to create more different data and provide different insights for the decision makers in the biz. So they're not slowing down. So if you want anything like that, and I don't want to sign them up for something, but they gave me the impression that they were like, if you want something that we don't have, you should ask for it and we'll figure it out. So if you're out there going, man, I wish this report existed, like it's worth giving the boys a shout, ekgamingllc.com, and see if they can pull something for you.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't be the guy that tries to figure it out after it needed to be figured out. No? I'm just going to shut up.
Strike that, reverse it. Anyway, and then the other one that I think their latest product is actually right up your alley, but Acres Gaming, Acres Manufacturing. So they, John Akers, as we said, came on the show. They're doing a lot of things in real time.
Right.
It's interesting. So we've been talking to a few operators. I mean, G2E show was just recently, and or pre-G2Es and all that. But so like you're getting a lot of people going, yeah, we're working on with Acres. We're putting Acres in. So it's like I feel like behind the scenes you're hearing a lot of Acres chatter, and then my guess is that'll translate into press and front-facing news over the next
what are we talking about?
Couple months. We're talking about Acres.
Yeah, I know. About their new technology?
Yeah. Oh, so that's what I was saying. So the one for you. Yeah. Sorry. Did I confuse you? Sorry for everyone driving home. Going, what the hell? So, but their latest thing, they have the optimal poker analyzer. So
okay.
OPA. If you're just driving home, you're like, OPA, right? So you got the optimal poker analyzer. So that's effectively what it does. This is interesting. And I think of you because it's for video poker. And you talk about optimal play, right? So like when we're out playing, you're like, dude, don't hold the ace and the king. Just hold one,
and it changes per game.
Correct.
Yep.
But what they're doing basically for the casino, so the player doesn't see this, but the casino can see this, which says when Landon's sitting there, if you're playing optimal every hand, bang, 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 everything you doing is right, they can segment you versus, let's say, me, who, according to you at least, makes mistakes.
Yep.
I held the wrong thing. I shot for the wrong hand. and they can give me more bonuses than you or vice versa. But they can basically now have that information.
That's not based off of cameras, though. That's based off of just your play type and hands that were...
It may be camera. The way they showed me on the preview, it looked like it was a camera looking down going optimal, suboptimal, optimal. So I don't know if they're just showing that to demo it and it's behind the scenes. We can find out. But actually, if you're that into it and you want to know, acresmanufacturing.com. They'll hook you right up with all that information. But
I'm going to call them.
Be sure. Yeah, but it's why we'll get Noah over here right now. But it's definitely one where like that's now like, especially think about your Vegas or some of these local properties. We have 30% of your floor is video poker.
Yeah.
You may be giving away money that's going to advantage players that are just abusing
or
you.
not giving enough.
Or not giving enough to the players that are actually going to be, your better Theo player. So they're kind of taking that and segmenting it a little more. And so that's called the optimal poker.
No, it is super interesting. And we need to do a better job as operators. I'm not an operator, but
cool.
We need to do a better job at properly tracking play. And that's more on the table side.
Yep.
Because even as like a blackjack player, I might put 25 down, then I might put 50, and then I might put 75, and then 25. But most of these tracking systems are only going to put me in as a $25 player, even though I'm playing an average bet of, call it 45, right? And that makes a difference over time spent. And that's the same with video poker, right? You might play optimally sometimes, you might not. But it doesn't have a high enough hold percentage to be able to like give back to that player as like a valued player at your property.
Sure.
So being able to track it properly really lets you know that player's value. And we need to do a better job of that on the table side and on the video poker side. Any strategic game or advantage play game, we could be better.
Yeah. Well, they're taking us that direction. So
let's go.
If you want to be better, acresmanufacturing.com. They'll check it out. Yeah, exactly, man.
And Mike and I don't have jobs now.
We have jobs. We just don't have our old jobs. We have our self-created new jobs.
We have new jobs. Are you excited?
Actually. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird because like, again, you feel this sense of like a little bit nervous, a little bit like, weird, but at the same time, you're like, man, I'm free. I'm free of the man, right? But at the same time, you're going, it wasn't that bad. Yeah. It wasn't like they were whipping us over the head going, what's going on, right? But it was just like, it's time to try to go do your own thing. And, I'd like to think we're young enough that if for some reason we completely screw this up, we could still go back into the machine. Yeah, I don't think so either, but I'm saying like, we have that choice. So, no, it's good.
We'll rock and roll. Who do we have today?
We have good buddy. He's a cool guy.
Okay.
Call him JB. His name's Justin Beltram.
That's right.
So he's had a number of jobs, man. He's been a game biz forever.
Yep.
I was introduced to him when he was running corporate gaming for Venetian Palazzo. So he was looking after Vegas and Asia for slot purchases. He might have had tables. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. And then now he's a COO and co-founder and part owner of Maverick Gaming, which I feel like is everywhere in the news. Came out of nowhere. Well, it feels like it, right? And so it's like, you're going, so wait, what? Like the boys just went and bought a casino. Because like I didn't really know Eric, who's the CEO of Maverick, but I knew who he was. Like I shook his hand once, like so I couldn't tell him we're not like friends, but like good seems like a good guy. But all of a sudden JB's out and Steve Sirianni is going there and like Kevin Sweet's talking about it on the side. I'm going, wait, what? Like you guys just bought 2 casinos? Like how does that? Okay, seems random, right? Like I'm sure they've been talking about it for a while, and then all of a sudden they have it, and then they go, we just bought 19 card rooms in Washington. What? Like 2 or 3 properties in Colorado. It's like. Okay, like how do you keep up with that, right? And so it'd be fun to talk to him about, how did that all put together, how did it come together, what the hell are they doing, with all this. So, but yeah, that's Maverick, and that's what he's been working on last 5-ish years, 4 or 5 years. So,
and how they own 23 casinos?
When you add it all together, I don't know, 19 plus 5 is what, 24-ish?
It's good math.
Somewhere in that realm. Yeah, math guy Jones for you.
We'll rock and roll. If you guys are confused from this intro, then we're doing our jobs.
Listen again. If you didn't understand the first time, rewind the tape, take 2. It'll make sense at some point.
And if you're listening on YouTube,
shoot us a subscribe. If you're in the pod store, if you could subscribe or let us, leave us a favorable review, that helps us and doesn't cost you anything. So we appreciate those that are sticking with us, those that have been with us the whole way, and for the newbies, welcome. Maybe you just found us out, saw us at G2E or something, and
wish us luck. Say a prayer for us.
Exactly.
Say a prayer.
Say a prayer.
But we love you guys. let's jump into this interview. We hope you like it.
Let's do it. JB. JB, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us.
I don't know. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. We were chatting, and it feels like, obviously you guys have been doing this for a little while, but it feels like Maverick just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it was like, hey, they bought a bunch of casinos, they're buying card rooms. Like, wait, what? They went from my guy that I'm selling games to here in Vegas to you own 19 card rooms and a couple casinos and multiple states. It's like, dude, did it feel as fast for you as it did for us? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just keep you running. Man.
What is the total? It's 19, right?
19 card rooms, right?
Yeah, we have 19 card rooms, 4 full casinos in Northern Nevada, and then 3 in Colorado.
And what's your biggest property?
Biggest one is the Windover Nugget.
Okay.
So we have 500 rooms, 700 games, 39 tables, I think.
It's a big property.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Feeding in out of Salt Lake, right? Is that kind of your big traffic flow? Yeah, that's
Salt Lake feeder. Yeah, it's weekends through the roof. 90% occupancy. Midweek down in 18, 15.
It just drops off.
It just drops off, and then they drive in on Friday, come in, hang
out,
hammered, and
I can imagine
go back to Salt Lake City.
Is that other 19% the trucker traffic?
Yeah, it's truckers, and then people going on I-80, going up to Yellowstone or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Utah, and so there's a lot of Mormons in Utah. A lot of people don't know this, but they gamble.
Oh yeah, they gamble.
They don't talk about it, but they like to gamble.
Oh yeah, they gamble.
Yeah.
He knows, obviously. Yeah, that's funny.
I hope so. Yeah,
oh man,
big part of the target market.
Oh yeah.
So how long before? Like, I'm fascinated with that, right? So Landon and I are making the jump ourselves to be, self-owned business guys. And how long before you guys did this were you talking about? Was this like years in the making? Were you going, even though we haven't done it yet, we've talked about, like, how'd that process go? Like, it seems fast in the front.
Yeah.
But I'm sure behind the scenes it was a little longer.
No, there was some time.
Yeah.
Well, my partner Eric he's a serial entrepreneur. He's got restaurants and all kinds of stuff. So he was on the track a long time, and then I would say 2-3 years before we started trying to find stuff to buy, we knew we wanted to buy casinos, right?
Yeah.
We were done working for the big companies,
Making
them money. Let's make us some money, right?
Right,
So,
for sure.
Right, so we failed a couple times. We were really close on a couple instances. We had a deal done with the cannery. We had contract signed. It was done, and we lost that last minute.
And not just somebody else come in and bigger offer kind of thing? You said X we're going to raise, or what? Like, how does that fall apart?
We had the deal done. We had to do the real estate part. There was all kinds of moving parts, and we didn't know what we were doing at the time. Yeah. So we were working through it. We had exclusivity for, I think it was 45 days. And the contract was signed finally. And then our capital partners, they kind of drug their feet, and they kind of drew over the 45 days. After the 45 days, Boyd came in, gave a bigger offer, and poof, it was gone.
So we don't need the time.
Isn't it shut down now? The cannery's not open, is it?
East side. We were gonna do both.
Okay.
We would have got both, but that was a crushing. That was a blow to the heart because we thought we were there.
You're like, I'm gonna crack champagne over this thing, right? Yeah.
That flight home, because our capital partners were in Denver. That flight home from Denver we were dead silent, didn't talk.
So do you guys come to blows on that? Like, is that one of those, somebody's flipping the table, or is it like, that just happened? Like, I'd be pretty angry. Like, if it's like you're all dialed in, and you don't have to call them out, but I'm just curious, like, how was that?
It was more disappointment.
Yeah.
We were just, we were so close. We were there. We were fulfilling our dreams, right? Getting out of the club. Sure. And then just poof, gone. So we had to start over. But again, we failed a couple times. The cannery was just a closer one. A couple times before that, we had a couple smaller properties we were working on, and so it took some momentum to get
failure.
Over the fence.
It seems like a theme when, like, not for you, just in general. Like, we talk to people like, first couple at bats didn't hit the ball, and then all of a sudden you did, and now you're flying, right? So it's pretty wild.
I feel like that's just a part of growth. You have to go through those bang periods to really get the experience, right?
Well, if you're winning every time, you're probably not trying hard enough, right? You're probably just doing something that's too easy, going, okay, like, I'm not out of my comfort zone or whatever, right?
You could even do that with just any job, right? Even like your first G2E, you're kind of like an idiot standing on the floor. You're like, hey guys, well, look at that. And then after 5 or 6, you're just bang, bang, bang. You're the guy.
You're the wizard of
You're the G2E guy.
You're the mayor. You're the mayor of G2E. Yeah.
I walked in every G2E feeling like I was the mayor. Little did I know, nobody cared.
You're like, what's the guy, Will Ferrell in Old School? He's just like, hey Mike, hey Jimmy. Like, you're just walking through and go, JB, Lando, what's up? Like, just high fiving everybody.
Like the Joe Kazoo walking.
That is the man.
Hey Joe.
How do you figure which casinos you're going to try to buy? Is it just the ones that are for sale you look at, or do you call, like, we talked to Derek and he's like, I don't know, I want to be a part of that one. He just went in and called the owner. Is that What was your process for buying some of these?
The first one was, let's just get the first
Whichever
one.
Whichever one we can get, yeah.
And Windover was our first one, and that one was tough. It was that getting that over the hurdle was pretty stressful time in life too, right?
Yeah, right.
Because we failed, and then that was the first one we ended up getting across the finish line. But after that, we kind of tried to group them, right? Like, so if we can get, synergies within management or synergies with just any sort of synergy we can get. So that's why we focused on Northern Nevada,
right?
Focused on Washington.
Right.
We were looking at Louisiana. We had a couple things going on in Louisiana. It wasn't just one property that we had announced. So we try to do synergies. And we also like, semi-monopolistic markets, right? We're in Blackhawk. Blackhawk's pretty steady. We're not, nothing's opening in Denver anytime soon. And obviously nothing's opening in Utah when we're in Windover. So we try to stay where we have synergies and somewhat monopolies, if we can.
Yeah, no doubt. Which properties did you buy in Blackhawk? Is it the Z group? The Z Casino? Yeah, those are good properties, man. So
they were run well. They're nice and clean.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
capital was kept up, which is
walking the floors there. It's been a little while, but it was always like they had a good footprint. The lodge was pretty nice, or the Gilpin, and then the Z group were the ones against Ameristar, right? The big boy. Right. But
so you kind of entered the market in an interesting time, looking at, before it was like brick and mortar was a land grab space. Who can get the most land? Who can get the biggest casinos? Now it's kind of pivoted. It's the online space. So now you have 20 casinos, 23 casinos.
20, I guess 7 if you
27.
Counting the card rooms.
Who's counting?
Math guy Jones over here.
27 and a half. So now you're kind of like in this online rush, right? You got the sports betting, online gaming coming. So you've kind of entered it right in between. What is your guys' plan with the online stuff with sports betting and online casino?
Yeah, we're kind of looking at it as it's a marathon, right? We're not rushing in. We're not trying to over reinvest in getting all the customers and competing with FanDuels and DraftKings in the world because we can't, right? We don't have that kind of cash. So we have our own online book in Colorado right now. Yeah, we're pending in Nevada right now, so hopefully we'll have it. Maverick Bet Maverick Sports is kind of what our brand is right now.
Oh, very cool.
So we'll Bet Maverick Sports in Nevada, Bet Maverick Sports in Colorado, and then maybe someday in Washington if we can ever get that across the line with the legislation up there, which is kind of tough because we're at odds with the tribes and stuff. So.
Card room. That's the age-old battle, man. That's even in California when they were looking at online poker. It was like, well, the tribes weren't agreed, right? So it was different sections of the tribes, different tribe kind of guys. But then it was always like, we don't want the card rooms in here. So we want to do it, and Pechanga and Morongo may not agree, but okay. But like, no, card rooms. And so it sounds like Washington, same thing. Like, the card room guys are like a nuisance to the tribes, maybe.
Yeah. Well, before it was scattered, right? It was the market was all little mom and pop places, and Great Canadian had a couple and stuff, but we've consolidated, right? Yeah. I tell people we dotified Washington, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the dotties of the north. Yeah.
So we consolidated. So now they have a true competitor. Right. It's a company that they're against now. It's not just
and guys that ran those casinos. So you have a basic sense of like player loyalty. And I don't know if you put programs like that in, but like you can maybe keep players better than somebody that just was like, I don't know, here, we're dealing cards. Like, what do you want to do, right? And then, you're going back over there. Well, hopefully you come back. Like, they didn't have necessarily a strategy versus you guys know what you're doing, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, well, TBD, I guess. Outside looking in, it feels like you know what you're doing. I guess we'll find out.
That's hilarious. You never know what you're doing until you know what you're doing.
Right. Until you do it.
And until you do it.
Now you're the expert, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty wild. So you're Sigma Chi. I wanted to bring it up. Random thought. Well, I didn't know where to take. I didn't know where to go with that.
I'm going to sit on the side. I wasn't in a fraternity, so I don't have any context on what you guys.
Well, you were on the football team, and you always came to our house.
That's true. Did have some good times. Yeah, did have some good
the old blackout parties.
Drank a few beers at the old Sigma Chi house. That's fair enough.
There you go. So you're kind of a part of the team.
There you go. Do you guys have a handshake?
We did. We already did.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
I can't tell you
behind the scenes. Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to be that. That's not worth dying for.
I'll have to tell you. But there are a lot of SIGs within our business, right? So Steve Sirianni's working with you. He's the GM at one of your Windover properties. Is that correct?
Yep. We have.
That's awesome.
Keith Frayne also.
Yeah.
He's with us, and Trevor Lynch. So I got a couple of Sigma guys with us.
Nice.
All from UNLV. Of course, when you know someone, you know their character, right?
It's easier. Yeah, it's like, you're good people. Let's bring you in.
Steve's character is, he was my Magister.
Oh, was he
it's
really?
Kind of funny, nice. But his character.
What is that? Yeah, I was going to say,
true.
What is a Magister?
He's like the pledge dad.
Yeah.
So like when shit goes wrong, Steve comes in to fix it. When all the brothers are like sticking us in closets,
he lets you out of the closets.
That didn't happen, by the way.
Steve made sure it didn't happen, right?
Steve made sure it didn't happen.
He's the good guy here. He's like, we're not hazing these guys. Let's take it easy.
So shout out to Steve. We're happy to see that you're doing well, and we gotta maybe get him on at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy to come down. Yeah,
for sure.
Steve's a great guy.
That's all I want to talk about, Mike.
Sigma Chi murder.
We'll just stop.
Guy's had a fantastic career. You're worried about his college?
Yeah, whatever. You know,
beer drinking. Yeah, exactly. No, look, I'm all rebels for you, so no worries there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so COO now. So historically, you were running gaming ops, right? So you're doing gaming floors in Vegas and Asia, right, with the Sands Group. Mm-hmm. How different is? I mean, obviously it's different in scale, right? Because Venetian Palazzo versus Wendover, a little different size. But now you're running a lot more disciplines in the business. So like, how has that been? Have you found any one area more challenging than the others? Like, do you have security? I feel like everyone always complains that security is kind of a pain in the ass.
I mean, especially in Northern Nevada,
right,
security gets a little dicey. But
yeah, exactly.
I got a story on that one. Yeah. So we took over Wendover, and Eric and I were there, and Eric goes to one of the security guards. This is day one we took over. He's like, "You guys don't have tasers or anything?" And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna give you tasers." just in jest.
Welcome to the team. Yeah.
Just in jest. And a week later, the sheriff comes to me. He goes, "You're going to give your guys tasers?" He's like, "I just arrested half of your security guards over the last 6 months." He goes, "Don't give them tasers."
Oh, so these are all guys who we just let out, and now they're guarding the vault.
So yeah, it was all in jest, but that was just security issues and
it's so interesting. Yeah. So that's fascinating, and I love how involved the sheriff is. So we got a customer, up in Washington, weirdly one of the casinos. They give free drinks, right? Yeah. Standard. But the way they do it there regionally, and a lot of folks listening are probably familiar with this, there's just like a soda fountain. So it's not necessarily a lady coming, "Hey, what can you have?" So they would get, drug guys, maybe homeless people just wandering in, but just trying to get free soda. Yeah. And the sheriff would call and go, "Can you just move the thing behind the counter and serve them?" Because you know how many less tickets and calls and hassles, and I'm like, wow, like you never think free soda drags all this crazy stuff in, right? Whereas your guys are going, "Don't give the guy just arrested for such and such a taser, bud. Like, not a good idea. There's a reason they're unarmed, right? Like, whatever." Yeah. So
I like how the sheriff's changing your operational plan.
Well, to me, it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but to me, it was just so mind blowing. I walked past the soda fountain a million times. Never once thought to myself, that's a security problem. I thought, it's nice of them to have free soda, right? But you're going, that's going to cause a problem at 9 p.m. when everybody's hopped up on sugar and meth or whatever.
What are some other easy fixes, just like the soda machine, that you've realized? Like, if we just move this door here, well,
yeah, it's true. Like, what was 101?
Yeah, that's why I say we just do blocking and tackling. Like, how'd you guys raise EBITDA so much? We're like, well, it's blocking and tackling, right? Like taking the best practices from the strip and taking them to the rural places, but. Loyalty programs, right? It's surprising how much people mess up loyalty programs, and that's part of the value proposition for gambling. That's half of it. So
what are the mistakes they're making? So when you say they mess them up, like what are some, maybe not any one particular, but common mistakes would be what? Like they do what wrong?
I think when they give frivolous things away they have a laundry list of a free Coke on your birthday, and just shit like that, and that's the teeth of their loyalty program, when they're not really giving the customer anything really value. Right? So you're like, why even have a loyalty program if you're gonna have that? So then you look at their database marketing tied to it, and they're really not doing database marketing either. So you kind of start doing real database marketing, and you give them real teeth to the loyalty program, and that's like a real easy, quick fix that boosts revenue and doesn't really cost you anything, right? Like. If you do it right.
It is wild to see, though, what a customer will do for a free T-shirt.
That's true.
It's pretty crazy. It's like, I paid $2 for this thing, and you literally just bought that machine.
Yeah, man. So I love it. You probably have stories like this. So I travel all over. So I'm at Hoosier Park Casinos, Indiana. It's freezing cold, right? It's in Indiana. It's like heading into winter. And there's a line out the door. Now, literally outside, people in coats, and I'm like, what is going on? They're like, it's giveaway day. Yeah. I go, it must be a hell of a thing, right? So you get to the front, and it's two low-profile beach chairs, right? Like foldable, sit down, and they got the thing all, like the marketing team did a great job. There's a little pile of sand in the chairs, I'm on. These people ain't never gonna use these chairs. Like, where they're gonna take what beach is here? Like, you're in the middle of Indiana, like beautiful property, but I'm going, this is not the thing. But they were a mile long. Wait, they're like, these are my chairs. I'm getting them with my casino logo and my players' points. And I was like, man, it's fascinating.
But you think it's just Indiana or wherever places, but
Wendover,
Asia, same thing. We have Marina Bay Sands, one of the largest properties in the world, and for these little trinkets, little tiny, Chinese New Year trinkets.
Yeah, right.
We had a line around the mall just to get these little trinkets for their, 10 points that they had to earn. Right?
Just human behavior, huh?
The way Amazon works, you could probably have those beach chairs to your house for cheaper before you even got to the casino.
But it doesn't have their logo, and they didn't earn it, right? Like it's always that idea of like a dollar earned, I guess, is better than whatever. But yeah, it's that's fascinating. Did you spend a lot of time in Marina Bay Sands? Like when you were looking back, you go back and forth quite a bit?
Well, I lived there for 3 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I didn't know you were there.
Yeah, we took family, everything, and moved over for 3 years. And then when I came back to corporate Sands, I had to go back and forth to Macau and here for another year and a half.
When you were out there, like living abroad, what were some of the things you missed? Like when you were going, man, I miss my Chipotle or whatever. That's a fat guy answer, but like,
no, you hit the nail on the head. It's burritos.
Yeah, is it really? Burrito
nice. You cannot get good Mexican food in Asia. Like you'll have, a Mexican restaurant that the guy came from Mexico in Asia, but it still just doesn't taste the same.
The ingredients aren't the same.
It's not there.
Different spice or whatever.
Yeah, like
it is always weird when you're traveling abroad and you're like, I'll have a cheeseburger and fries, and the lady's like, they always have that one side-off menu for like the American traveler that doesn't know what he's doing.
It's like can't eat local food.
You're at a Chinese restaurant and there's like the side menu with burgers and pizza, and you're like, you don't want that. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you brought the kids. How did they like it there? Were they too young to even really know, or what was their thoughts on?
Well, it was third grade and kindergarten, I think they were. So they were, especially my oldest one. He remembers a lot, but no, they had a great time. At first, it's bumpy, right?
Right,
getting to know a new culture and city. Like,
what's the English ratio? Like a lot of people speak English, or are they just like, dude, Dad, no one understands me? Like,
no, Singapore, they made English their national language.
Oh, really?
Because they knew that's how they had to communicate with the world.
We don't even have that.
Yeah, I know.
Not that I'm pushing for it. I'm just saying it's funny to hear.
So that in Singapore, it's like Asia light kind of, right?
Yeah, right.
So
Asia light.
Yeah, they all speak English. Everything.
Perfect.
They're friendly. It's clean. It's safe.
Nice.
It's so. It wasn't bad. Like we even let my son take the subway by himself when he's in
really?
third
Third
grade.
grade.
Yeah,
geez.
So there's not crime. You don't worry about anything like that.
That's amazing. I don't have that in me.
No.
My wife will tell you I'm the worst.
Well, think about when you were a kid, though. It probably was the same.
You ride your bike to the 7-Eleven with your boys. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, here we came back and we're like, no, you're not going outside.
You're lucky there is no subway. Yeah, exactly. No, that's wild. And then came back. So you came back from there and back to Venetian Palazzo.
Yeah, so I was corporate at Venetian Palazzo, and then we would go back and forth to Macau and here, and then Sands Bethlehem at the time too. So we got to travel quite a bit. Got to know the Macau market, Singapore market. Kind of fun.
We kind of jumped over it really quick, but I want to just back kind of to the beginning. What was the scariest part of making the jump from going to
from
corporate
all these big jobs,
to having like a guaranteed paycheck to being like, I'm on my own. Can I fly or can I not? What was that like? What was that like, that process?
That was bumpy. There's a couple of really scary times I remember. So the first one was when I was still working for Sands, and we got on the gaming docket, as Maverick on the gaming to get our license, and the legal counsel from Sands calls me. He's like, why are you on the gaming docket?
Yeah, it's like under somebody else.
So long story short, I had to resign before we got our license. So that time in between, I was like, if we don't get licensed, if something happens,
you're just in the wind.
I'm blowing in the wind. Fast forward another 9 months, then we have we changed investors 3 times before we got Windover, and that was the real bumpy one, right? Because so we had the first investors, and they were only going to give us 25% equity in the company, and which at the time we're like, all right, we'll take it
just to get going.
To get it going. Yeah. We ended up getting rid of them. Then we got another investor, and he ended up couldn't get licensed. And at that point, we're in. We had a deposit into Windover, and we had the second half of the deposit due at the end of June.
With no license yet.
No, we got the license,
okay,
but now we lost our investor, so we don't have the money anymore. But our deposits.
Day one, you turn the lights on, you have no more cash.
Well, we can't even get day one yet because
we
lost our loan or the backing there. So then we had to find a third person. But that time between finding the second and third, when our money's in, we're all in. Me and Eric have been all in at least 2-3 times. We're all in, but worse, our friends and family, we have some of their money, and that
that's tough.
I don't think I slept the month. What was it? June of 17, I slept maybe 8 hours the whole month, because just trying to work through it. You're getting through, but we ended up finding another lender, and he came through, and it all worked out. But
so far, so good. Yeah, that's got to be a little.
That was
stressful.
a bumpy one.
Yeah. No.
Do you have to like put the pressure cooker on for that investor? You're like, here's the deadline date. You got to be in. We got to know.
Yeah, because Well, you have to have the deposits in. So we put, I think we had a $3 million deposit. We put $1.5 million in, which was ours. We were everything we had, cashed in all the stocks,
quarters,
selling cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Johnny, this is your toy. It's gone.
We actually had to put down our credit card at closing because there was an extra like $700 on the fees.
No,
we didn't.
Really?
I swear to God, we were like, all right, here, put it on the credit card. We put $700 in credit card on to close, finish the closing window. But yeah, you have to.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's funny because you're sitting there like you got to go high pressure on this last investor, but it's so counterintuitive because when you're raising money, they go, just pretend you don't need the money. It's like, just, you're cool. Take it or leave it. Like, that's what they tell you to do. And you're like, yeah, but I wouldn't be here if I didn't need the money. And clearly I need it right now because my kids' toys are up for auction, right? We got to figure it out. But yeah, that's wild. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a stressful time. That month was a big.
You're like, dude, take Visa?
It's like, we take it. Like, whatever we need to do to close this.
So the wife wrote it out with you, huh? So she got probably a little nervous in that, like, you know.
I try not to bleed it over too much, you know. But of course, you could tell when I'm not sleeping for a month.
You pace the floor at 3 a.m. She's like, bud, something's wrong. Yeah.
And I don't mind. I mean, losing our money, we can make more money back. But losing your friends and family's money, like that's the one that
when they trusted you.
Yeah, you're like, I can't lose. You know, sweet investment.
Yeah,
I can't lose.
He mentions that. Yeah, he's like, dude, I'm in on those guys. He's happy. It seems like. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be good return for him. But at the time, I wouldn't lose his money.
Gaming license approved, loan goes through, your first day of operations as an owner, and you see your first paycheck or your first money in the door. What is that feeling like?
I'm an employee, right? Because I'm getting paid. We haven't to this day we haven't taken distributions or anything. Everything's gone back, but it was overwhelming more at of anything because you're trying to take everything in, and you know the banks are hitting you, and the employees are hitting you, and you know the previous owners, of course, are not investing in the company or the employees because they know they're selling it. So then everyone's just trying to hit you, and the new politicians are trying to meet you in the city, so it's really overwhelming more than anything. So you don't really get a chance to take a breath until like maybe 6 months into it.
That's wild.
You know, that's an element I wouldn't even think of. Like you're getting in the door, you're figuring out if your security guards can have tasers or not. And all of a sudden you're going, so what, you're the mayor of that? Okay. What do you want to do? Lunch? Okay. Sure. Where are we going? Right? Like, I forget about the political element.
Well, that's part of the sheriff too.
Well, the sheriff, I just think is security. He doesn't want these guys, taking the tasers home and robbing some other thing or whatever. But the mayor, I'm assuming it's political. It's funding for the town, right? Kind of thing, or job source. Or
in Windover, the mayor was actually our bartender too.
No way.
I swear,
No way.
Have you seen that show Schitt's Creek? That's what that reminds me of. He's the mayor of the town, and he's like some random guy that just cruises around like it's he works as the assistant at the hotel or whatever. So it's like, it's like, so do I work for you or do you work for me? I don't know how this dynamic works. It's gotta be a little weird, right? Like,
makes your city hall's interesting, right? You just go down, get hammered, a couple
old fashions, some new rules.
Hey, that road down on Pine Street, things look a little rough.
So does that still? I mean, is that just one of those like handshake, hey, how are you, or how often is that like intertwined with what you guys are working on?
Yeah, I mean, we have a good relationship. Yeah, right. We try to meet them and we help out and help the community. We're in small communities, so of course we want to help out and do everything we can. And
I was going to say that. So speaking of that, like you guys have, I'm pretty sure I got this right. Maverick Cares, is that the name of the program? So it seems like you have a whole thing dedicated to reinvesting in the communities you're in and kind of helping. It looked like a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. That's why it sticks in my head because he did something for the kids. So I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was like 200 kids. You're like, hey, we're out here helping. I was like,
that's awesome.
I'm in on that. Like I love that program. So
again,
what are some of the things? Yeah.
It's for the communities, right? Even in Washington, we're in like smaller cities. We're in Kirkland, and so we try to do stuff for the immediate people, so they can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And the kid was the one you're talking about was I think in Kirkland we did Maverick Cares and gave backpacks.
Oh yeah, right.
Stuff like that, and we've done Thanksgiving things, and Windover we give out turkeys, and it's really like it's not for notoriety. It's really just to get to help the community around us and make sure they embrace us and we're embracing them. And
that's right.
That's cool. I mean, I've always respected that, right? Like a lot of companies, I don't know if they all do it. Like I know AGS did it, where they go, hey, if we have an office, David's philosophy was, if we have an office there, we're going to do some stuff locally, right? So we sponsored a school. You guys are doing backpack drives. I mean, got to do it, right? Like, because you don't want to be the company that's just like, well, we're just going to suck all your money out,
right? And
then see you later, right? You got to give them at least something back and help out where the pain points are. So I respect that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And some of that comes from us being in Sands because a lot of people didn't know Sheldon was a huge contributor to Las Vegas, right? He gave a lot. People didn't realize he gave a lot to Las Vegas.
Yeah, he always got a bad rap because he was so big on a certain political party that people don't always like, right? So we don't have to get into all that, but like, I feel like if you were on his team, you're like, oh, great, he's funding our side. If you weren't, it was like, hey, that guy sucks, right? Like that was always the news for him was he's making a ton of money in casinos, and the prevailing story was he's putting it all into political races. Yeah. Sounds like not, right? And so, like, what were some of the things? I mean, I'll help that out. Like, what were some of the things he was doing here locally?
I think their foundation was the largest for, like, Shade Tree.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So all those types of in Vegas that they never want a notoriety for, that they were the main contributors, and I hope they still are. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I would like to think, Yeah, Shade Tree was like, that's for the battered women, right? Yeah, that was one. So we did a lot with that when I was growing up. Like, we would just go volunteer, and I couldn't even go inside. So like it was one of those where like they're like, guys, you can do, because I would go and do yard work for their facility, right? And like just as a volunteer.
I wouldn't have used you for yard work. I would have used you to go beat the shit out of the guys that are beating the battered women. Like he's our guy.
At least go sweat him a little bit.
I would have been happy to raise my hand for that, but there's some line there you're not supposed to go. But anyway, but it was really interesting because you're like, hey, like even though us three might want to do something, they're like, you guys can't go inside because there's a lot of triggering historical stuff, and you're like, man, it just breaks your heart. And then a lot of them have kids, and you're like, man, both of them, all of them went through it. So, yeah, that's a foundation. So anyone that wants to help them, Shade Tree in Vegas is crazy. But yeah, it's good to hear that that they were doing stuff like that. Because again, you never get that side, and it's hard because you can't brag about it yourself. Like you guys can post, hey, we're out here hanging out, but you're not going to go like do big press release, like look how cool we are. Sheldon wasn't going to do that. Like you just kind of keep it to yourself. So unless somebody else goes, hey man, good on you. Yeah. How do you hear about it? But we should talk more. I feel like there should be a light on more of that.
We've gotten quite a bit of that, right? The local newspapers and
I'm sure,
like they come out. So you get it even if you don't try, which is it's a good part.
Well, that's
at least for us, we do.
Yeah, for sure.
How'd you come up with the name Maverick? I love that name, by the way. I think it's totally.
I think I know the answer, but I'm glad you asked it. Yeah.
So originally we were 888 Gaming because good luck from Asia, but there was obviously another 888
that
Gaming.
Exists.
And that's massive too.
It's a big online company.
At the time they weren't as big, right? Because it was 16, like 17.
Usually we were Amazon. Someone else had that.
We tried Google. But,
somebody had already trademarked it.
So we changed it. I think 6 months in. And so Maverick is Eric's son's name. Yeah. And then. We we're Mavericks, right? We want to be a little different. We want to be a little bolder. Yeah. We want to be the Gamblers brand, right? We want to give that kind of stuff out. So it just goes with our philosophy as humans and gamblers.
That's cool. That's my nephew's name. Not that it matters or anyone cares, but
it does.
Mavericks
here. Yeah.
Mavericks a cool name. And I was like, it's kind of like the Outlaws of gambling. You know? Gaming operation run by proper gaming guys, and that's really what we want to see. So
yeah, no doubt. So first of all, that kid probably walks around like he's 12 feet tall because he's going, look, my company. Like if I'm him, I don't know how old he is. But,
he's 9.
Yeah, 9, right? So that's right in the wheelhouse. And this is a 5, however long ago. So he's probably 4 when you start this, and he's like, so I got a company now? And he's like, well, I mean, I know I would be floating on the moon.
Check the library card, bro.
See this? I'm employee number 3. Whatever. It's so that's pretty wild. So when you say the Gamblers Gaming Company, what things do you do differently? Is that just like you said, with reinvesting in the player stuff and
we give them
the mix, like
what gamblers want, right? If they want free play, let's give them free play. Like, I'm not going to make them jump through hoops and do crazy things. Like give them free play if that's what they want. If they want.
They don't need beach chairs. They'll take the extra cash on the machine.
Yeah, I mean, we actually even give cash back in Washington, right? At a property or two, like that's what they want, cash back, which ends up coming back.
Yeah, they funnel it back.
Yeah. So like give gamblers what they want, right? Like don't try to make them jump through hoops and go run and give them good lines, give them good hole percents and high limit, give it that kind of fun stuff.
What? How do you find out what they want? I'm assuming you're not Mel Gibson in the movie where you can just read their minds. So is it just as simple as surveys and Facebook polls, or chatting with them at the bartender mirror, is just chatting them up at the bar, figuring it out, or how do you learn what they're looking for?
I think it starts with us, right?
Yeah, right.
We're gamblers. Eric put himself through law school playing poker. We're gamblers. I hit 7 parlay cards this weekend.
Attaboy.
I didn't lose one. I have to put that out there. I didn't lose one card this weekend. So.
I knew you were really happy coming up the elevator. I didn't exactly know why. That makes sense.
So we're gamblers ourselves. So we know what we like, and then it kind of funnels through, and you see. Like I like test and control. I personally don't like surveys because I think only one type of person does surveys. So you miss the other type of person that doesn't do surveys. But so I think test and control, you try some things, you see what works, see what doesn't, see who responds. Right. So we do a lot of stuff like that. Or we try to. As we build, we're getting more test and control.
More. Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Cash back and free play.
That'll
get me in the door. Mm-hmm. Well, like you said, to your point about gamblers, you said a couple things. Good hold percentage. Love that right off the hop, right? Free play. I don't mind. Cashback's great, but again, to your point, to me, it's basically the same as free play because if you give me the 100, I'm putting it back. Like I'm just going to free money. I may as well test my luck. So yeah, those are good. I almost never use the free tchotchkes that they give out, but I do laugh because like I grew up. My parents were big stations gamblers, or my grandparents, excuse me. And so for my birthday or whatever, they'd always give me like, here's 4 bottles of wine with Sunset Station logo. And I'm like, oh, thanks for not spending a dime on my present, but I'm going to drink the wine.
But it's good wine. So
I'm going to drink it. It's fine. Like, I'm not actually mad, but I see what you're doing here, Grandpa.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So what's next for you guys?
I was just going to say, to the moon. Where are you going?
Well, we just finished we refinanced the company, which was big. That was a lot of work. We got rated by Moody's and S&P, which is a big step for us. Right now we're kind of official, right?
It feels official. Like a real thing.
And it was a lot of work to get there, but so we got refinanced and just kind of get our feet underneath us from COVID and get all that stuff worked out, and then shore up just some of the balance sheet and get our rebranding done because we didn't get a chance to rebrand right when we were getting ready to start. COVID hit and kind of threw us off course, and we bought a sign company just to
that's right. You bought eGads.
We bought eGads because we were going to spend 15-20 million on just rebranding on ourselves, and we got eGads for cheaper than that. So
that's wild. Think of that.
It's actually fascinating to say that. So fascinating buzzword for everybody listening, but it was one of those where apparently I say that way too much, but it's one of those where you're going, as you talk to owners and guys like that, or like, Jock who owned Interblock, he goes, we were spending a lot of money on my gel inserts. Like I just bought the company. I spent a lot of money. I just bought the company. I'm like, how is it possible that it's cheaper for you to buy the whole company than it would have cost you just to buy their product? Like it doesn't make sense, but I'm sure it obviously pencils out.
That was some quick math.
You're like, it's genius, but it's just it's a common theme you see. Like when you talk to guys that own the businesses, you're going, I don't want to pay the supply. I just want to integrate that as a new thing that we do, and it's more revenue, obviously.
Capture that 30% margin that they were taking.
Exactly. So are you now that business still gonna operate and do signs for everybody else, and then you're you take the benefit of home team discount?
It's just they operate separate as they were. We kept all the employees intact. Justin Arsamont came over to help us run it, but other than that, we let it run separate as its own entity. And we picked up a lot of OEM stuff since we took over.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you're gonna have a lot of signs.
We have,
this is a sign.
I'm actually excited because
name the episode.
Signs. We get to because they do signs, but they don't do specialty fab. And then as technology emerges and comes out, and they have whatever cashless or whatever we do, we can integrate that together with our operations and the signs and the banks. And
cool.
We get to bring all those weird, crazy ideas I've had in my head for 20 some years to life because we have a fabrication company. And the operation side, because we could try it. If it fails, who cares? It's in our casino, and it's no big deal.
In my mind, I know I'm sure you're running startup style, so you don't have some gigantic office, but in my mind, you're in the big COO's office, just going, "Ooh, the laboratory is founded." Like you're going to be like, "I'm going to try this and test that and build me that." Like it's always fun to see when you can get somebody creative that knows what they're doing, playing around. Like that's how I think a lot of the cool stuff is born.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun just thinking of the ideas. But why haven't we just grouped all the roulette together? Why do we have to have games and ETGs and tables separate? Just put them together. Let's do something fun. Bonus all the roulette players together.
The roulette section or whatever.
Why not? Just playing with weird things and doing bonusing on top of all that stuff with it is going to be fun. That's where I'm excited.
This is why I like starting your own business is a roller coaster. You said so many things to me that go like that. I'm thinking COVID, right? You just pushed all in. You're on this upward trajectory, and then it's guess what? Not today, Junior. What was that feeling like as soon as you knew that your properties were shutting down?
This is your money and
and you're not only that, you've got tons of people that count on you, and their families count on you.
Yeah.
So it's not just you can make, like you said earlier, you can make your own money back. You'll figure out how to make your family whole.
Yeah.
You got 100. I don't know how many employees you have, but
5,000 now, I think.
5,000. Wow. You're in charge of 5,000 live. And that's 5,000 plus 3 because it's got kids.
Right.
I mean, so that's 20,000 people pretty quickly.
Yeah, it adds up.
That March, April, May that was tough. You got to battle with keeping the company afloat, right? And do we pay benefits? Do we still? We want to give people benefits through a pandemic, right? But can we afford it? Can we not? How many people can we keep on? What will the government cover for? So it was and every day is new. Like you get something else thrown at you. You didn't know what the law was. You didn't know what you had to do. Like so it was just constant, like change.
That is interesting.
Adaptation.
How many? Like I don't know if this is even the right way to ask this question, but like on a daily basis, how much of what you do is new stuff? You like, is it like 10% curveballs and 90% you kind of know what's coming, or what's your curveball rate? I guess.
Yeah, I would say 30% now, but I mean, through different things. Like right when we took
100%.
over, it was like 99%.
Every pitch is weird.
Oh shit, that's I haven't seen a slider. Like, oh shit.
Well, I laugh because even with us, like we're just in the early days of getting this thing going, but we do a call and they're like, have you guys thought about this? I'm like, no, but I'm about to. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. But like some tech issue or some, like you said, legal thing, or I'm gonna write that down, Google homework it, and then figure out who we talk to for it. But like, it's
how to start your own company.
Well, that we already figured out. But that was the first Google search we did. Like, no, I think the first one we did when we were talking about it was like some basic things like benefits of LLC versus S corp. Like literally going, all right, what do we even organize under? And then all right, we figured that out. And then okay, now what? Right? Yeah, it's wild how many steps and random things you got to do. And it's impressive.
It's just fun, constant change, right? Yeah, and if you're not used to that. Ambiguity, right? Like you'll get lost, right?
Yeah, if you need the discipline and structure of like, here's exactly what's going to happen today.
It's not for you.
Work in accounting. Like that's the only place that exists, I feel, or legal.
Right. And a lot of people think they can handle it, but until you go through it, it's a different ballgame.
I think that's been good for us in the slot sales game or just in this industry on our side. I mean, we've been beaten down so many times.
You need a hug, bud? What do you think?
I do actually. I would love a hug after this.
Post interview, we'll do a little hug. Yeah.
But it's true. Like you have huge months, bad months. I mean, it's just constant, just beat down. So you can kind of like manage or mitigate the ebbs and flows of life.
Yeah,
it really, right?
That's your own business starting it. That's how it's constant. And you think you're up, and then like COVID, boom, that's complete slap down. Right?
We got funding. No, we don't. We needed that tomorrow. Right. Start the process over. Right? It's. It's cool. Well, Justin, we appreciate you coming on, and we're gamblers, and we support you in any way. Like, we're excited to see what you guys do.
Yeah.
This is a gambling podcast, so we like to get a fun gambling story from you. Share away. You can protect the innocent. What do you have? I'm excited to hear what you have.
I mean, knowing you guys are going to ask this question, I thought of a couple, but I think I got one that's applicable to you guys on the OEM side. So. When I we go to live sporting events, I always do in-game live, like just for fun with each other, like do live bets. And we were at a UFC. Actually, I think it was Sweet. Me and Sweet were going back and forth on bets. We were like choosing fighters and,
just like casually the two of you.
Casually the two of us. And then but one of the vendors brought us, and there was a new sales guy, and he was young, and he wanted to get to know everyone. He was trying to get in. He's like, I want to bet with you guys. And we're like, well, we're betting, $500 a fight. And he's like, oh, that's too much. He's like, I just started in the industry. So he comes up. I don't know how he came up with this. He goes, all right, if I win, you pay me the $500, but if you win, I'll get a tattoo.
Oh God. Wrong answer.
Put self-respect up on the cash.
Just give him the 500. Like you don't want to do the. Did you get to pick the tattoo? Well, what was the caveat there?
That's where. Because I think there was like 6 fights left or 5 fights left, so you got to go back and forth. And so at first he was picking the tattoo, but then for some reason the guy couldn't win. He couldn't win a bet.
So he doubles or nothing to let you pick.
Yeah, and then it starts growing. So and at that point I don't even want to win, but we're drinks in and. I think we're at the last fight, and then the fighter, I think it was Misha Tate, and she was minus 400. So I was like, all right, you pick whoever you want. Yeah. Misha Tate's the favorite, minus 400. He's like, all right, I got Misha. I go, all right, but if you lose, you got to get Brock Lesnar's sword across your chest. Oh, yeah. Because we were at that point.
Yeah, right. You're deep in the hole.
We doubled it nothing. He's like, all right, minus 400. I'll take.
That's kind of cool.
The dagger. At least it's not some like unicorn on his face or something. Yeah, exactly.
I'd have done a dagger tramp stamp. Anyways, sorry.
Okay. So sure enough, she loses, right? Yes. And the guy's just dejected. He's like, oh, you can see him. This is after 10 drinks of the whole night, and Sweet's there, and I was ready to let him off the hook, and Sweet's like, oh no, this is happening now.
We're doing it right now. We're walking over.
He goes, I found a tattoo parlor that's open right now. So we head over there.
$10 tattoo.
Yeah. We Uber over. We're at the tattoo parlor, and the guy looks up. He goes, my wife won't let me get the dagger on my chest. He goes, she's gonna kill me. And I was like, all right, we'll come up with something, and we'll approve it. And so, sure enough, he ends up getting a camel on his toe.
Okay.
So he's got a camel on his toe today. He's got a camel toe tattoo, which I let him off. You know, it's small, coverable, but.
So you got tattooed yourself. I feel like the toe tattoo would hurt. I got arm and back stuff, and I'm going, it wasn't terrible. Like they say those aren't really that bad. It's not like enjoyable, but it's not the worst. Yeah. I feel like the toe, I feel like that would hurt. I don't even know if it's top or bottom.
From a Brock Lesnar sword, though, on his chest to a camel toe. He really talked his way out of that one.
He did.
Well, he's obviously going to do well in sales because he sold these guys down to some completely hidden. What'll be interesting to follow up on is, did he tell his wife, or is it like enough hidden? He's like, she don't even really know. Like, she don't. I mean, how often do you look at her toes? Like, it's not like you're. And I don't actually probably want to know the answer to that, but like, it's one of those.
He looks at her camel toe. That's what you're asking. Yeah. Yes.
No, I wasn't actually. Okay. Anyway, all good.
Right, fair enough.
We off the rails here. So
don't rewind.
Don't rewind. Yeah, don't skip back. All right. So the other thing we always have. So now you know what us knuckleheads are up to here. Yeah. So we issue the Max Bet Challenge. So. Coming in, who do you think we should interview in a future episode?
Yeah, I didn't want to do someone easy. I was thinking someone I was friends with way back in high school. We were really good friends, but she was on the regulator side.
Okay.
Cool.
And you guys haven't had many regulars, but I think Sandra Douglas Morgan.
Okay.
She was the former chairwoman of Nevada Gaming Control Board.
Awesome.
So we were good friends back in the day.
That's
so
awesome.
Maybe we can get her on here.
That'd be fun.
She's really smart. She would be the.
I don't know her, so that's already cool, and I don't know much about that. So the homework for me will be fun, just to kind of dig in and
learn.
Like
that you have to do homework.
Dude, I enjoy it. It doesn't even feel like homework. So you get to research. Oh, that's what they're doing. Like, there's so many facets. I'll say, and that's why I'm always interested to see, like, when you go from a single discipline, even if it's a hugely profitable one like the casino, to going, well, now I have it all.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is always eye-opening, because I'm going, I felt like, we said this all the time. When we started the podcast, we thought we knew everything there was to know about gaming. 3 episodes in, we're like, we don't know anything. Yeah. Like, there's so many elements of people that affect this business across, like Sandra, I never even heard.
It's insane.
And you're going, makes
when
you realize
you're learning that while you're learning how to start your own business. I mean, just even like this court, you have to do research to figure out what court this court is.
Which one is,
which one to buy and how long. So anyway, but like, no, that'll be fun. So Sandra, if by chance you're listening, we would love to have you on, and we'll figure it out. Is she here like locally, or where's she from?
Yeah, she's here in Vegas. Yeah. We both grew up here in Vegas. So.
Nice.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Well, Justin, thank you for joining us.
This has been fun, man. Appreciate
good luck to Maverick Gaming, and
appreciate it.
We're excited to see what you guys accomplish.
Yeah.
Right
on.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, brother.